SVEG Technology Screens, Transfer, and Fusion Light Energy Gain. I'm working on a little project here. These have become my projects I've been working on. Oh, and I'm not doing something else. But these little houses, well, this house is kind of huge. It's some of the stuff I've been working on. And some of this is going to involve our new crystal clear SVEG, Fusion, Sun Fusion Energy Gain screens. I can't pronounce it right now. But anyway, that's what it's going to involve. So that's actually the clock tower I've been dying to build. And that's the first base of it, what it looks like. And then it converts into, I'm going to show you in a few minutes, the one we have over there. The one we have over there, what we're missing on that is the silicone for the lake and some of the fish that go into the lake. And we're also missing the lights for inside. We'll put the lights inside and then attach the floor. This is more basic. Well, this right here is the tower already just finished. Not finished yet. I still have more work to do on it. I do want to build another section to that. Let's move that over there. I can use this later on for something. We have cardboard, scissors, everything we need here. Let's do together. Pen. And let me see. Here we go. Let me see. And as for the stickers that we got blessed yesterday, I'll be able to print out. This can is awful hard. It doesn't explode. It's not like can't pressurized cans. Oh, sorry about the whole minute. This is what it looks like afterwards when we finish. This one's going to be done a little differently. I don't want too much color in this one. We're going to have some color with it, but that's designed to be a different type of cabin. a great base. Much bigger than the original base. Alright, so that'll fit perfectly. Excuse me. Much better. Sorry. We don't need a bottom half for this, right? The bottom half is we needed for this. Top half of it all. Doors are in this, so I think this will cover the door potential when we rebreathe on that. Yours in the back, that's my massage chair. A little more time in here, so we're going to get all this done for tomorrow. I got to get a presentation done for the advertising company. I was supposed to do it today, but I got caught up in something, so I haven't had a chance to get it done yet. Well, at least they gave me plenty of time to get that done. So then I want this done, because this involves something we need to get done. Finished, I get my tower done. These here. They have to be taller than the windows. They're going to have to be taller than the windows. door. Your front door doesn't have to be open. You can do it on the front door. What's the other one at? Oh, tell me we cut that from there. We couldn't have cut that from there. There's more than two of these. Oh, here it is on the floor. Oh, right, this one top. Wait, is this one from here? Oh, it's right here. Oh, it is this one, okay. Yeah. I know we just wrap around twice. We'll do it twice. I'm gonna do it that way. Where's the other piece you had? That piece you had. We'll do it twice. We'll do it twice. It won't hit. We'll do it that way instead. I'm going to build the castle in sections because it's big. The castle's big. So we have to build it in sections. So we'll start with the round towers. There's 4 of those. And then we'll build a catapult. That's one of the things we'll build. Catapult. Some of the things we'll build for the castle. Right now we're doing the clock tower door. I had to get an AI image to get an idea of how I was going to put this thing together. And the tower is pretty tall. And we'll do some other crazy stuff. I want to put in a mining station that's run by elves. And some of it you'll be able to look right down inside, and then it'll connect with another piece. You can see what's going on inside of those mining caves where they're working at, playing, eating, whatever they're doing in there. And we'll do all this from cardboard and plastic and other stuff we'll find. There's the those who are checking out the fallout. It's over there. So that bomb is almost done. I just have to go in and make them stickers hopefully old and apocalypse and all that stuff. And we'll start working on that. Oh, I just thought about that too. We may be changing out the kill switch on here. I think I'm gonna go with that nuclear kill switch. It's only fitting. Now, because the 280 cooling system, the CPU in the front, I can't find anything to put over that to give it a more realistic effect. Like, I hope I was going to find like a counter or a timer. We can't find anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a nuclear badge. We're going to coat it with a really high glow. It's an extremely high glow fluorescent coating. And then we're going to run an EO wire around it so we get the glow to pulsate. So all that has to be built. So we can't buy that because we can't find it. So that's usually how it goes anyway. If we can't find, we build. That's how it works either way. Can't find it, we build it. And the Dell, I'm so excited about that. The Dell's going to give me a chance to do some real serious modifications to that whole setup. So I'm going to be doing tutorials on that one. So a few people do a few tutorials on those. So definitely want to show you how to basically hooking those things up. That whole tutorial, it's going to be about budget built PCs. So, you don't spend a lot of money. It's going to look nice. Now, tower has to be done differently. The paint job has to be done with kind of a caulking stucco look kind of paint job to the towers. The towers are designed differently. So we're going to be doing that one right there with that. But I tell you something, I should get some popsicle sticks, cut them and stain them and put them in for the woodwork. But I think I'll do that for the church. Oh, we got a church we're doing next. We got a church we're going to be doing too also. We're going to build an entire village. Look, I'm at the site, but I might build an entire village. We're going to be a merchant center for all the merchants to sell their goods at. Ouch, watch it. Don't burn me, buddy. We have to make some enchanted hoods too. Okay. Just had it in any over right there, buddy. Oh, just leave that off. It really doesn't make a difference. We gotta trim it. It's better if we trim it. So because of these builds, I've been doing a ton of research in this era on everything. Everything down to the clothing, the food, everything. I like the medieval era. Oh, wait a minute. I live in the medieval era. I do like the medieval era. It's like a lot of the folklore, superstitions, and myths came from. Can you imagine being in a tavern and being told these stories of these trolls and fairies and mermaids and dragons and all this stuff? That must have been an interesting era. I mean, you know, a lot of stuff wasn't real, but I mean, still. You know, you got people who believe in urban legends to this day. You know, if people think about it, it becomes real. The stories they must have told. And you'll see dragons were highly intelligent creatures. They're very smart. So it's very interesting. I don't even know if some of that stuff was actually real, how interesting that would have been. That's why I like that movie called Reign of Fire. I like that movie. I love that movie so much. You would never think that dragons didn't exist, and so they woke some of them up. But that's what I like about Fable. That's one of my favorite games right there. I actually am purchasing the Xbox 360. God, I hope that thing doesn't red ring on me. But I'm going to do like the other one. The other one actually worked. The one I soaked in vegetable oil, it actually worked. So I didn't have to worry about red rings for a while with that thing. I got a tank over there. Just drop another one in vegetable oil. It seemed to have worked quite well when I did it the first time. So I'm just going to go with that again. But I want to do Fable. I'm going to go back and visit Fable. I had to bring another Fable out. So as we go along on these builds, I'm not going to be talking about much. It's not really... I gotta keep this in fairy tale land. Probably do. Honestly, I don't want to hear that crap at the end of the day. If I was in there watching somebody do a build... No, Jesus, I'm definitely... That's my Lord at the end of the day. He's the one that directs me to build all this stuff. But I mean, other topics and stuff. I want to keep this in the land of fairy tale world. And we're building these, and then the other pieces over there we're working on. I gotta find sand. I need sand for my apocalypse setup. I can literally hear that song. Every time I look at that PC, I literally hear that song, The World on Fire. I can hear it crystal clear playing in my ear. I like this song, but it's been playing for the last couple of days in my head. Don't get me wrong, I like it. Just can't like it when you get music trapped in your head and you can't get it out. So we got to think of a story behind this. All these houses we're building, we've got to have stories behind them. Who lives in them and stuff like that. Each house needs a story. So that over there is the Whimsical Cottage in Lucky Lake. Lucky Lake, you're guaranteed to catch a fish every single time. They just advise you don't fish at night because of the mermaids. Mermaids are friendly, they're not evil. They're just curious, pretty much. So, can't fish when the mermaids are out tonight. We're going to use our new invisible technology to get the rest of the effects to trigger off, because I need for fairies to be the move about. I need fireflies. In order to do that, we need that screen to do it. There's a big heavy medieval door. The door. Yes. Beautiful. Let's release inside. B is the long part of this, and we have windows. Go that way. And just don't get the shutters closed. Let's see how it goes. Alright, make sure you put these up. No, I'm not cutting these on accident. Once they're apart, I'm going to cut that. Now, to make the windows look like we don't have to put any glass in them, to make the window panes, we paint each inside to keep this jet black, and inside of this we paint them with a high fluorescent glow. Now, to give off the effect so the windows work, we're going to take lights and have them out here like candlesticks on each side. They're lights that will reflect off this to get this to trigger off the glow without using glass. This one we had to install windows in them. They had to have windows in these. There's lights that go throughout here. That one's going to have lighting pretty soon. We already ordered it, so you'll get a chance to see that house light up over there. And the clocks in the bell tower are actually real, so they actually work. It'll have a bell in it too. All right. space out just right. Need 3 of them in there. Okay, do this middle. You know, tavern's going to be done different. The tavern's going to be made so you can look at the front, but you're going to look in the back. We got to do the inside of the tavern. We have to. That'd be pretty cool. Fireplace. You know what I mean? It's going to be freaking cool. We're going to do something pretty crazy. Some back areas where people can go out and sit and sleep, stuff like that. The bar, of course, tables, and, you know, all that other cool stuff. Definitely have to put in a bar. So I think the name we're going to call it is the Happy Tavern. Happy Tavern. Or Happy Spirits. That's literally what they call at that time is Happy Spirits. Will be our tavern. I'll put in. So I have to design some tavern signs. We have to do a blacksmith. We're definitely going to need one of those. Gotta have a blacksmith. So that'd be cool. We'll do something with some lead lights involved in that. Nice burning fire. Get over here. Fuck me, I have to go in there. Now, someone was saying, can we do battleships? Yeah, I can do a battleship. Battleships are they're easy to do. I'll make the sails out of real fabric. I think I'll do some pirates. That'll be something else for a different build. We'll have the ship parked into a cave, like a cove, and then we'll have the pirates out on the sand figuring out where they're going to bury their treasure. Can you imagine? So they're going to the bank. So they want some beach somewhere, mapped and charted where it was at, and buried all that money, these coins and rubies, right in the earth. That was the safest place to put it, because no one would never figure out where it's at. And that's the only, if you had your shipmates, they would know where it's at. Just to have that trust that no one's going to stab each other in the back and go back and get it. Yeah, pirate code. That's a movie called The Fog. That's about pirates. When that came on, I was not permitted to watch it. My mother would not let me watch The Fog. When I was an adult, I watched it. As a kid, it probably scared the crap out of me. That was something that his ancestors did a long time ago. They came back to get him. It was a priest who actually triggered all that. His ancestors took something and came to go get it. It was actually a pretty good movie, though. Well, can you imagine being at sea and you're going someplace that the average person would not get a chance to do? Go and explore other lands and an adventure. And then you go back to the tavern and the stories you would tell. You'd be a great storyteller because people know that if you were a person that did great travels, you went here and there and did all these great things, you know, they knew you would come back with all types of stories. So of course, none of stuff was storytellers because the things you would see and do that the average person wouldn't see. Talk to natives and go to different exotic lands and stuff. Yeah. I'm pretty sure some of the things they talked about what they've seen in the ocean, sea monsters and all that stuff, and mermaids or sirens singing. But that's what people live for. These stories. And storytellers gave people the ability to think way outside the box, thinking that, wow, in the ocean somewhere, like, there's all these mysteries. That's why you look at some of these maps, you have these giant monsters wrestling with ships. I think about every farm boy just wanted to just kick up and just leave and get on one of those ships and see the world. Destined to do or see something better. Those were the adventures. And those that were comfortable with the farm, and that's where they wanted to stay. But then others that had that calling. Imagine what their adventures were like. People today, now we get on these ships and we travel where we want to go, but imagine back then that wasn't so. That was an adventure right there. Everything now is all monitored with machines and everything, but back then when they had none of that, it was all imagination. So I guess sailing back then was different from what we have now. I was having that discussion on a forum site. How was it? I saw something from One Piece. That giant sea serpent came out of the ocean like that. Can you imagine if that was so? If we had sea serpents that big that were on a regular, like whales, I don't think you'd find anybody in the ocean. But still, that would be insane. It really would be. That's one big freaking sea monster. I don't know which one was bigger, that or that thing on God of War. That thing was huge. My goodness, that thing was so big. But yeah, it was pretty cool. But the topic we had was the biggest fish in the ocean is the sperm whale. That's the biggest. But how do you know? How do you know it's the biggest in the ocean? Ocean is only 15% explored. And there are caverns in the ocean, huge, massive caverns that support life, air, all that. They call them underwater caves. They actually exist. We can't reach them. We don't have the technology to reach the pressure. Crushes anything that's down there. Now, interesting. How come nothing big has come to the surface, like the colossal squid? Colossal squids are huge, are massive creatures. Because they won't survive. They come topside, they won't survive. That pressure system that's in the ocean allows them to be able to survive in that habitat. Like I was explaining in the forum site, it's like watching a lion trying to live in Antarctic. It won't survive. It's not designed for that habitat. So whatever is down there deep in that ocean somewhere can't survive the I guess what we have above the pressures that they're used to basically living in. And on top of that, an animal that caliber and size, or any animal that size, it's going to stay where the food source is at. They're never going to leave the food source. They'll starve to death. So if the food is there, that's where they're going to stay. And that habitat, that ice cold, or it's freezing cold, it's dark down there. You know what I mean? Maybe that's how it survives. That's how it lives. It knows to stay where it has a high rate of survival. And it's made that way so they can't go certain places. Can you imagine a colossal squid having the capability to be able to surf and be in the water at 200 meters? You know how dangerous that would be? The arm span of a colossal squid, you would never see it coming. You would never see it coming. You could swim in it just like that, you'd be gone. It'd snatch you clean out of the water. So at 200 meters, if that thing was sitting camouflaged, you would never see it, but it would see you. So yeah, everything was made a certain way for our survival. And we talked about that, like that colossal squid. Rare. You would see one of these things. And so the only time these things surface is if they're about to die. They're dying. That's one. I think that's one if they're dying. And it's supposed to be another thing too. They're dying. I think what if they're just dying? They're sick. They're dying. You'll see one come to the surface. But other than that, nope, they don't come up. You don't see them. It's rare you would see one. Very, very rare. But if that thing was able to live at 200 meters, what would survive that? You would never see them tentacles coming. You would never see it. Something would tickle your foot and whoop, you'd be going. They talked about those people who go deep into the ocean to repair the supports of oil rigs. And it's literally so dark down there that they only can see by their spotlight. And they said every once in a while something moves past you that the water swirls around you. What the freak is moving down there that causes the water to swirl around you? Yeah. People say it could be a whale. But whales make noise, they sing. You would hear them singing. People pick them up from submarines on radar. You hear them singing. It just didn't make any sound at all. There are things in the ocean we don't know. I'm pretty sure there's things in the ocean that know how to stay camouflaged. They've been camouflaged for years. Every once in a while we bump into a species we've never seen before. Every once in a while we bump into something we never knew existed. So they know how to stay camouflaged. And somebody said, what about a radar system? The basic scan, you can't, it's not going to work. It won't even reach. Technically won't reach. Because again, like I said, you got them underground caverns down there. It's not penetrating through that. They did that for the Loch Ness Monster. They were trying to see if the Loch Ness Monster actually did exist. Who knows what's down there? Who even knows? But you can't say that the sperm whale's the biggest if you only have 15% of the ocean explored. You really actually can't say that. Ugh. We must do this again. We made a major mistake. Windows are supposed to go the other way, not this way. There we go. Let's do it again. It's supposed to be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But yeah. The thing the Megalodon is extinct. I don't think you want a shark that big swimming around you. It's a big shark. Let's see. A whale shark can get anywhere from 40 to 60 feet. But whale sharks are not vicious creatures. Thank God. The shark they call deep blue is 25 feet. It's a female and it's pregnant. And it doesn't seem to be hostile because there are people around it, recorded and taking pictures of it, but didn't attack any of them at all whatsoever. That's why I believe that sharks eat because they're hungry. They don't kill for the sake of killing. If sharks did kill for the sake of killing, we have a problem because there are more sharks. Right now in the ocean, and different species of sharks we have. That means nobody can go in the ocean. It's virtually impossible. Anytime you step in the ocean, a shark would attack you. So they eat for the sake of just basically just eating. If that's the case, divers wouldn't be to swim around them. They'd be taken out. I mean, you got to be careful. It's a wild creature, of course. But still, interesting. So, the prehistoric era, the shark was a megalodon. Good gracious, that's a big, big fish. I wonder how they explain sharks in the medieval era. What would they call them? Because they had folklore for just about everything in the medieval era. Everything was just about folklore. Like in Fable, when you go to the woods and you encounter the bandits, and you really don't have that good armor or nothing. You just basically started off in the game, and you got to run from these jokers. And you're like, man, next time when you come back in, and your armor's all through the roof and your weapons and stuff, you're like, oh, bring and wipe all of them out. Let's see where the rest of them come from. Let's wipe them out too. And you start finding their encampments. And I'm gonna wipe this one out too. That bloodstone was beautiful. I love the bloodstone. If you don't know what that enchanted rock was, you get certain weapons that you can actually put stones into, and the stones were enchanted. And the bloodstone was a weapon that when you basically shed the enemy's blood, it would restore yours. That was a fantastic combination right there to have, was that bloodstone. Made you almost look and hard to kill, extremely hard to kill. I like the bloodstone. Alright, so the clock tower is the centerpiece of the town. The time, everything. Can you imagine the stories they told about why you don't go out at night? Boy, there must be some jacked up stories. I have seen them singing in the woods. What's singing in the woods? Fairies. Oh, you're drunk. You're filled with spirit. No, I've seen them in the woods. You read the Tavern Tongue stories. Greek mythology had it too. They had a lot of tales about different things, krakens, Medusa, minotaurs, centaurs. Release the kraken! Alright. One more time. What do we got at the time? Oh. Just make these windows done. This is the tedious part of it all. Getting the windows done. I saw something where it showed animals inside of a tree, basically sleeping and cooking and knitting and all that stuff. And like, how many people, when they were kids, actually thought animals lived in trees like this? I did. I was one of them. I believed that. I actually believed animals lived in trees like that. And if you ever think about it, my mother never said, "Oh, that's foolish, that's stupid, you can't believe in that." No, she let us dream as big as we wanted to dream. She encouraged it because on top of that, it brought out our imagination. Could be animals living in trees just like people. A cozy little nesting area. Nice fireplace and drinking hot tea or cider. More imagination. Man, I still remember that Troll Manor. Like, what the freak fable? Like, I had this beautiful female, designed her and everything just right. She was beautiful. And I was buying up all the property and I saw something called Troll Manor. And I was thinking, I'm gonna spend the night in this thing. I wonder if I'll probably wake up fighting some trolls or something crazy. And I woke up with a troll face. And people were terrified of me in the town. I couldn't do any business. Everybody was scared of me. I was like, it's jacked up. Figure out how to fix that friggin' nightmare. Yeah, if it was funny like that. I'm getting there. I can just grab that same piece. I watched this documentary how medieval homes tried to stay warm in the wintertime. It's pretty fascinating on all the different stuff that they did to stay warm without all the stuff we have today. It's pretty interesting. For survival, man, in the wintertime in medieval is crazy. They did it. They did it. Man. Ooh, ouch. Really? Bernie? That's jacked up. What's up? Who do you blame when you burn yourself? Jeez. You blame yourself. I just bring that with me? The Spider-Man did. Definitely. I'm doing the shutters. Leftover scraps come in handy. Let's cut that off. Yeah, that's the one. What the frick happened to the stripper just cut off? They told me the fan took it. It blew somewhere. Oh, right over here. I was like, where the heck did this go? I think I'm probably going to do a vintage movie theater for balcony seats. I'm going to use the AdTech and a projector to project a little movie screen. Make a little mini movie theater. Something retro. That'd be cool. Definitely want to do something like that. Alright, so we're doing our shutters. More shutters. Ouch. I've gotten burned so many times. I've gotten used to the pain now. I just don't feel it anymore. I go ouch and yet didn't feel that. No reaction. There we go. Nice those shutters. One completed. We got 2 windows. And we can put the whole thing together. I do want to get the bottom half done. again, tomorrow I got stuff I gotta do. I'm gonna be buried and stuff, so I get as much as I can finished. And for some reason, if there's anything, it has a lot to do with the new screens. We got this invisible technology that really is crazy. And I want to be able to do some projector mapping through the windows of these screens and some other stuff that we're going to change the atmosphere. So we got a stand coming in that connects to, it's a magnetic piece, and we can bring a projector down over top these settings and we can do stuff to it with these screens involved. So if we do a boat and we do the ocean using plexiglass, we can projector map anything we want into the ocean around the ship without even touching the ship. That's what I like about projector mapping applications. You don't have to hit the boat. I can actually infrared paint around the boat. So if a person is doing some kind of special effects, it's kind of hard to explain to them about it. You have to kind of put them into that world. They can get an understanding of it. And I can understand it 100% because that's how it kind of works for me. So we build little worlds. And on top of that, found a new hobby. I get to build little worlds. I've been watching these things on YouTube. It's on Facebook. And they have these beautiful AI city backgrounds. Some of them have this countryside. Some of them definitely look enchanted, like from another world. And I love them so much. They're beautiful. They're so beautiful to look at. And I'm thinking I want to build my own little worlds that I can stare into. My little realistic worlds. So on top of that, it's part of that too. So I can have my own little enchanted world. When I was in VR, the Oculus system, I didn't do a lot of gaming. I mostly spent most of my time in the 3D paintings. Yeah, 3D paintings that you can walk into the paintings. They come to life. Oh man, I spent a lot of time in there. And even with my VR system right now, I spend most of my time exploring the world. I have very little gaming on them. It has this game on PlayStation. Probably got on in the PS5 too. I think it's called Summertime, Fun Time, whatever it's called. And this VR glasses with the Sony gives you the opportunity to go into an amusement park. You can ride the roller coasters, Ferris wheel. They got this mountain climb that you do, balloon rides, and they got this. Oh, they had this. I think it was Batman. Arkham City. You can go to the city with on this Batman ride, and one of the most beautiful things they had on it, which was pretty crazy, they had a submarine ride. Oh man, that's a good game. It's called Summertime. I think it's called Summertime. That was a really good game. I think the only thing about the game I didn't like about it, was there was just you were the only person walking around. I wish there were other people walking around with you. I thought that was pretty. If they brought it online, that would have been pretty cool. Have other people in there with you. I had the Oculus and I had the PlayStation. But I didn't do much gaming in there. Mr. Robinson, I paid for. That game made me want to throw up. Boy, motion sickness was definitely happening with that game. It's a shame too. It was in the dinosaur era too. I really want to get a chance to explore that world, and I couldn't do it. I kept getting sick. And this Wild Wild West game on Oculus, you literally had to duck behind something to keep from getting shot. That was actually pretty good. There's a lot of people in there playing that one. All out shootout. That was pretty fun. That's actually, I'll tell you something. That was fun. So yeah, I had that right around when COVID came out. Right when COVID was hitting big, I had those VRs, man. Everybody was in. There's a lot of people in there. You know, they couldn't communicate with too many people. You can communicate with them in there. So I was in there, which it was cross-platform. A lot of people didn't realize that the rooms they had in there were cross-platform. There were people in there with G2s in there. There were G2 VRs, and there was Index. People with the Index system in there. And man, they were doing things that nobody else was doing, like standing on their heads and doing stuff like that. 'Cause they had a full body tracking suit on. That's why. So I was talking to one. I said, "What is it like on the G2s? I like the G2s." And he said, "Man, these things are so freaking accurate. You can thread a needle with these things." And I've seen people pull clips out of guns and throw them the clip, and they would grab the clip and load it in. I thought, "Wow, yeah, I got a pair of those." Now you're probably thinking, "But your PC, my PC home is not like this. It's different. I built it for the VR system." Usually when I build my PCs, they're wrapped around something that I want. So I'll spend the money for parts if I need it, for something that I need to use it for. And the VR system required a little bit more, so I had to build something for that. But yeah, definitely worth it. All I do is that thing is just relaxation, man. I go visit different countries, and I go sit in the meadow and explore under the ocean and stuff like that. Outer space, spacewalks. I do all that. I like to do that kind of stuff. To sit out there in space station and look at the Earth. Next I want to go pick up the Quest 3. I heard it was pretty good. Definitely want to pick those up. Check them out. Other than being comfortable, I think the best for being comfortable for an affordable price, the Sonys. The Sonys are very, 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 very comfortable. Very comfortable. I like the Sonys. Quest had an issue because they didn't put a really good band in there. Put it around your head, put this stinky band in there, and then all the weight, because it's in the front, would put pressure down on your nose. It was very uncomfortable. I had to get a modification kit. They call it a Frankenstein kit. To allow you to be able to strengthen that little problem there. And then the battery life wasn't too good. 2 hours of game time. It was actually more than enough. I mean, if I'm sitting in the bottom of the ocean, I could be a little longer. You know, have a battery system to it. Yeah, but it was nice. I do miss them. I'm going to get another pair. I'm going to get the 3. Alright. Shutters are done. Alright, let me see. Windows next. I think with the ocean being such a vast, huge place, what's the biggest cruise ship you think they would ever be able to build in the ocean? And how can they have giant mega cruise ships? Like about the size of a city. There'd probably be no place to dock that thing at. But it's crazy when you think about how big the ocean is and how big cruise ships are, or any other vessel they may have, destroyers, what they may have. They're not bigger than the ocean. The ocean can still swallow one of those ships with no problem. So how big of a ship would you have to build in order to not be threatened by the ocean? And consider the fact that if there was a giant sea creature down there, they could grow as big as they want to grow because of the ocean. You got like electric eels. Electric eels will grow to the size of the tank. Bigger the tank, bigger the eel. So imagine something that big in the ocean. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if history gets screwed up. And yet people in the medieval era, in our era, and we would be in their era. That'd be a pretty cool TV show. I would watch that. We would just have, our world would be in their world, and their world would be in ours. They'd be terrified in our world. They would be absolutely freaking terrified. They would think everything is witchcraft. Literally, TV come on, they'd freak out. Walk out in the street, cars are moving all over the place. Like, it's a dragon! Airplanes be flying up in the air. They would call airplanes dragons. They no way to explain it. Like, what is that thing? They'd just be freaking blown away with the stuff we would have. I think most of them would pretty much die off. Imagine them getting a hold of a handgun, like, what's this? And shoot it in the air or shoot at themselves. Yeah, it'd be dangerous. And for us, on the other hand, we wouldn't do too well either at the end of the day, because again, we would be plunged back into the dark ages, like, good grace, like, Wi-Fi, the lights, we got nothing in it. Oh my goodness, yeah, we would lose it. But we would die off too, because we would not have survived in that environment. They would kill themselves in our environment, because everything we have over there would definitely literally easily kill them, and we would die in there because we can't survive. Unless you get some survivalists over there. The survivalists over there get trained, they're kings. Because they know how to live in that harsh environment. Those bushcrafters be out there like, what? Really? We got pushed back to a decade or so? Oh, yeah! You know, scientists, yeah, they have a ball too. If we deal with all pure natural resources without being tampered with or touched with today, I didn't have a field day. But still, you would have to have the equipment to get it to actually, to make metal, and whatever else we need back then. And titanium and all that stuff like that we have, and now we figured out how to harvest. Back in the Stone Ages. People would say that if I had a time machine, I'd go to the future. Would you really go to the future? I wouldn't. I wouldn't dare step foot in the future. The future terrifies me. Nah, chances are, people think we're going to get flying cars. It could be something really jacked up. We could have monster giant cockroaches that roam the earth. No, I'm good. Or like that Fallout apocalypse world. No, I'm good. I go to the 80s. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm staying. I'm never coming back, ever. I like the 80s. Music was better. Food was better. Everything was better than the 80s. The jobs were better. Everything was better. Everything was better than the 80s. I think 80s was the perfect time zone to go back. Yeah. But you're gonna live in the medieval days. If you read the history of the medieval days, it wasn't actually what you thought it was. Disney had it in the day. Disney made the medieval days magical. They did. They made it magical. Because, man, if you read what went on in the history books, you're like, my God. It was pretty bad. I guess in their era it wasn't pretty bad because it was just their era. Man, just imagine if they had the opportunity to live in this era. And we got a cure for that. What are you talking about? We got a cure for that a long time ago. Like, really? You have a cure for that? Yeah. No. You have to cook your dinner outside. This is called an oven. And what the freak? This is magic. No, it's not magic. It's an oven. Pretty much what it is. Yeah, maybe they're having a ball, man. And what is this? TV. Yeah, they be blown away, man. I like this magical world. No hunting? No. We call this a supermarket. That's pretty much what it is. Well, they came to this era, everything they have on is worth a lot of money. Like, literally, their clothes they came with is worth a lot of money because, again, it's from the era. They came with any coins. They came with any daggers or swords on them. They got money. So that would be something old and unvaluable over here. It'd be like a lot of money. So imagine the stuff they threw away, the trash and stuff they threw away in that era that was junk, was trash. Wasn't worth anything. In this era, it'd be worth so much money, it's not even funny. Think about in the Egypt era, all those pots and all those the dishes, utensils, everything they had at that particular time, they thought was junk. Do you have any idea if somebody basically in that era went back and broke vases because they're trash and old pottery, just smash them, destroy them, make more? You know how much money them things were worth now today? You got a vase from that era that's intact? Man, that's a lot of freaking money. So it's crazy how you think about it, how much something would be worth nothing at that particular time, and you bring it in our era and it's worth a lot of money. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy when you think about it. So people in that time, if they were poor, and if they were able to live in this era right now, they'd be rich. Because everything they have in their home would be worth a lot of money. They're antiques. They're all antiques. The record players, the lamps, the stoves, refrigerators, all that stuff is all antique. Clothing, all antique. So they were actually rich, but they couldn't be rich because of their time zone. Even the car would be worth a lot of money. How much money a car would be worth in that era? And think about how many cars at that particular time went to the scrap heap and were destroyed. How much stuff, how much trash was disposed of and destroyed. And all that stuff in this era would be worth money. Musical instruments, all that stuff, everything. They fetch a lot of money. That's crazy. And that was all considered trash. What about our era? I have no idea, to tell you the truth. We're so far ahead in technology. I don't know what. Actually, truthfully, I read up on that. We're not in the future yet. The future would be space travel. When we have the ability to be able to travel, I don't know where we'll be going, honestly. And if we did have space travel, where are we going? Literally. Do you have any idea how much radiation is in space right now? You could die in space. Space has a ton of radiation. The moon has radiation. There's no atmosphere. The gravity would destroy us alone by itself. The gravity would wreak havoc on our health system. mentally, psychology, all that stuff. We would go nuts up there. And no, you can be up there for short periods of time, but we can't actually live in outer space. There's radiation everywhere. Earth has a radiation, but it's not enough to basically kill us. And that whole thing with the perfect alignment with the Earth and the Moon. Yeah, if you're too far away from the Earth, you freeze to death. And if you're too close to it, it's set on fire. So where we're at was perfect. So, and if we do have space travel, where are we going? Every place we go to, we can't be on that planet because it'll kill us. So where are we going? And they talked about some super Earth they had. They found some super Earth, but you don't know what the freak is going on in those planets either. What about the bacteria? You know, planets carry bacteria. It could be bacteria. I do not want to snort something up and bring it back to the Earth. Yeah, it's just interesting to think about it. Like, when we do get up there, where are we going? It ain't like we got Star Trek capabilities where there's alien forms up there. I mean, that'd be interesting because then we could travel and see them and they can travel and see us. But then they keep in mind there's a downside of that too because some of them could be hostile. We don't have a weapon system to handle something like that. So that'd be interesting. But there's nothing else but us. I know people up here believe that there's other alien forms, life from whatever. But truthfully, they would have came visit us by now. I think they would have. I think we would have saw them already. I think they would have popped up. Why not? They have found us already. You know how long we've been on the Earth? How many centuries and no one has seen anything like that? Now they said those UFOs that were attacking those spacecrafts, that's military. It's all military at the end of the day. You people don't understand it's all military. And I'm going to tell you something. To hide weapons and whatever kind of secret operative what they could be doing over there, they can set up a whole press conference and basically make it sound like these aliens came down and attacked blah, 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 and blah, blah. You don't know what they're testing up there. They don't know what other countries could have something that we don't have. You go back to you take the Blackbird back to the 1950s. See the reaction on that thing. Or a stealth bomber. Let a stealth bomber fly over Japan. Let's see what happens. Some people freak out when they see that thing. They don't even know how to explain something like that. We call it alien. Go back to the Wild Wild West era with an Apache helicopter. They wouldn't even know how to explain that. Go back to the medieval days with a freaking Apache helicopter. They will label you as a dragon. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. Let's look at it that way. I got a whatchamacallit spinning. We got thing with them too. Alright, this is done. We're not done yet on that one. We still got more to do with it because there's a whole bunch of stuff we got to do. Once we get that done, we have to do what we do. Oh, I forgot. Let me mark these off. Yeah, this is A. A is going here. C is for cookie. That's good enough for me. I just find that stuff interesting. I do a lot of thinking on a lot of crazy stuff, but I just think that's really interesting how different eras would react to our technology, how they would see it. Like you wouldn't believe it. It's in the air. It was firing like fire was coming out of it. And it just took off. It made a screaming sound when it took off. That's A. That's definitely A. This would be B. B's on this side. Yep, that's the other side. Yep, it's interesting. Got it come up for who controls the clock tower. Someone has to go in and maintenance this thing. Can't maintenance itself. Somebody has to be to go in and fix the clock tower. Alright, that's A. A is this side right here too. Here's one here. Gotta be on there, buddy. Ought to be on there. Hope it tilts my whatchamacallit just a little bit. I want a little bit cookiness to my tower. B. B is for book. B is for beekeeper. Are we straight in here? Are we over? Oh no, I forgot this one on the outside. On the outside, buddy. Bum, 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 bum. Send me your dream. And Montana built me a drawbridge. This castle has to be built in sections. We have to put in the whole section of drawbridge is one big section, by the way, to walk way across the drawbridge. We drop you gotta get a nice little pot that should we drop scalding water on top of soldiers that come up. Yeah, it's a whole section built, man. And castles are big. Alright. Crap, we got doors on this side. Oh yeah, it's like a chimney in the back of one of these things. I think we have to build a chimney. Because the thing, the clock tower does have it. It has to have some way to heat it up. You know, there's no freaking central or anything. So, our central heat, we gotta put a chimney system in. So I'm gonna build my chimney on this side, over here. So we have this stack here. Bring it up. That's going to start there. And then we have, this is going to be clock, and the bell tower in there. So that goes up front here. So we can't put the bottoms on those yet until we basically install everything inside. And then we have the top. Dun 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 dun. Ta-da! All right. We got the detail work to do on the thing. The detail work on here is going to be insane. Literally going to be insane. It is. Ugh. Those windows have to have brick by brick by brick by brick by brick with the pieces on it that I made out of cobblestone. And that thing has to have a kind of a stucco paint job on it. And we have to have little strips going back and forth across it. So yeah, it's going to be the same paint. But hey, that's what I like to do. The days, basically, when I'm building stuff, I get bored if I do the same thing every day with the screens and stuff. So we got to find other projects to do. On top of that, you never know who's watching this, who may get it in their head to design one for themselves. You know what I mean? I like to spark off imagination. Other people to try to do the same thing too, or do one better. Doesn't make a difference to me. Maybe why not? You know what I mean? It'd be nice. The whole important thing is just have fun while you're doing it. That's all that's important. Have fun and enjoy yourself while you're doing it. That's all. It's not about who's better, this, that, and the other. I saw builds that are far more advanced than mine. Man, I love every bit of it, man. Gave me some cool ideas along the way. It's about sharing ideas and enjoying the build. All right, people. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for coming by, stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the video. Of course, we thank our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for blessing us with the knowledge to do so, because one for Him, none of this would be possible. Gotta go. Thank you for your time. Be safe out there, and God bless.